Hey guys, welcome back to another week's episode of Closed by Mo. My name is Mohammed, also known as Mo, by the way. I am hopefully your favorite host in all things real estate. I'm also a real estate investor and a realtor based out of New York. Now, the last few weeks, I've been talking about how the real estate market is, cooling down. There's also a lot fewer buyers in the market, and inventory is going up, which are probably very good things to hear if you're a buyer that's still has a lot of high intent to purchase a home this year or even next year. Not maybe the best thing to hear if you're a seller. So I decided, hey, you know what, let's make a video on educating sellers on how to best attract buyers to come to your home, to make offers on your home as well, and hopefully lead to a close after they make the offer. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right into this. Now, there are a few things that a seller can do to attract more buyers to their home, and the first one to start us off is pick the right agent, right? I've made a video about this too in terms of how to spot a good agent, but a very quick summary is the right agent for you, the right agent to help you sell your house is going to be someone that's local to your market and understands your market and understands how to price your home well. I go into it a lot more depth in one of my other videos, but you don't want to price your home in a way that boxes out other potential buyers, right? Your good agent, the person that you pick to hopefully sell your house, will also understand that it's all a numbers game, right? The more showings he or she does, the more open houses he or she does, the more buyers will show up. The more buyers that show up, the more offers that will hopefully be made. The more offers that are hopefully going to be made, the higher the chances that one of those offers is going to go into contract. And the more deals that go under contract, the higher the chances that something is eventually going to close. Other things that a strong agent can help you figure out with is they'll help you understand how to negotiate the offer and the contract process, and help you understand what to compromise on and what not to compromise on. So for example, something that's pretty popular now is like seller concessions, flexibility on closing date, contingencies too, things that we hadn't seen last year, for example. A good listing agent will also be able to help you figure out whether or not the offer is strong or how strong it ranks. A lot of times sellers will make the mistake of assuming that, hey, if two offers come in and they're both identical offer price, it means both offers are the exact same. No, that's not the case. And I made a video about this too in terms of how to be a better buyer. But if the buyer is working with a good agent, they'll know how to pitch their buyers, they'll know how to pitch their clients to the listing agent in terms of differentiating their offer from other offers. So things like down payment amount, contingencies, the buyer's credit scores, the buyer's salaries, income, employment history, things like that. Those all go into effect when it comes to figuring out which offer is stronger than others, right? It's just not a matter of face value when it comes to looking at two identical offers. The second point that I'd like to make, and I feel like I've drilled this down quite a bit too, is presentation matters a lot, believe it or not. When you meet someone, whether you'd like to accept it or not, the first 2 seconds that you look at them, you're immediately making a judgment on whether or not this person is a good person or whether this person, is someone that you're not going to get along with. Buyers do the exact same thing, especially when they start to pull into the same block as where the house is listed, or the open house or for the showing. You want to make sure that your house looks presentable and clean from both outside and in. That might mean spending a couple of extra bucks, getting everything nice and landscaped out front, and getting some of the staircases power washed. But you also have to make sure the interior is presentable. What I mean by that is don't have your buyers come into the home and see boxes piled everywhere or shoes scattered everywhere, or there's it's just a big mess. Get the house cleaned up, make it look very nice and presentable as if, there are guests coming over, because a lot of these things are very psychological when it comes for buyers, especially first-time home buyers, when it comes to deciding on which property they're going to make an offer on, right? This is also something else that I want to harp on, and I feel like I've spoken about this quite a bit, but make sure your home doesn't only look nice, it also smells nice. I only realized this last year when I started doing showings, and I've gotten to a bunch of homes where, man, it just smells like doo-doo, man. I don't know how else to explain it, especially when you have pets like dogs and cats. There's like a very distinct animal smell in the home. Spray some Febreze, light some candles. It's really the little things, because those little things go into how a buyer feels about the home. They might not remember the exact layout of the house. They might not remember exactly what they saw, but they'll remember, oh yeah, this house, it smelled like, nice candles and whatnot. So those are the things that you want to leave the buyer with a lasting impression. The third sub point is in terms of, if you do happen to cross paths with the buyer, and I try as a buyer's agent when I'm working with clients that are looking to buy, I'll try to always be a little bit early to the showing, to the private showing, just in hopes that I can catch the seller. I do that intentionally because I want the seller to put a face to my buyers if they do see an offer come through. But as a seller, this is also going to be more important for you as inventories go up, and you can't be as choosy with buyers. You want to make sure that you give a good impression to the potential buyer that, hey, this home has been taken care of. You've done a lot of work around the home. So this way, it just goes into the overall presentation of the home, right? Now the third point, and I feel like I've stressed about this earlier on in the video, is it's all a numbers game. Your agent's going to understand this, and you should also understand it in your core. Anything with sales is, I would say 95% of the time, it's mostly just a numbers game. The more viewings that happen for your home, the more offers you're going to be getting, so more buyers are coming through, and the higher chance that the deal closes. Now, why do I say that? I say that because you as a seller have it within you to control how available your house is going to be for those showings, right? So what can you do to encourage more people to come through? Make your house more available to show. Don't try and limit how often you can show it. A lot of times in the weekday, sellers will be reluctant to show the house because they think, hey, I'm not going to be at home, or when I'm back from work, I'm going to be very tired and I don't want to do showings. Well, guess what? That's when buyers are available, right? Some buyers may work irregular shifts. A lot of buyers are only going to be available on the weekends and when work is out, so after 5 o'clock, when you're tired. I think you just have to sort of suck it up and do it because it's all a numbers game. The second point too, in terms of it being a numbers game, don't price yourself out, which relates back to the first point. The price or the number that you try and list your house for, that's going to be the immediate, I would say, first impression that a lot of buyers have. That's why you'll notice on some homes that are listed at like $799,000, not $800,000, because the listing agent is smart enough to know that, hey, I want this home to be seen by not just people that are looking for that $800 to $1 million budget, but also people that are maybe looking for around $700 to $800, and we don't want to price ourselves out from that buyer group, right? So the more people that see your home, the more buyers that walk through, the higher likelihood that you're going to be getting an offer, and the higher likelihood that the deal is going to be closing. And with that, that's about it for this week, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and you can maybe share it with your friends and your clients or your buyers and sellers on whichever side of the transaction that you're working on. I'm also really excited to announce that we're finally spending a lot of time on our marketing strategy, especially with online content and social media. So I'm excited to share some of the links that I'll be we'll be posting more regularly. Check out the links through all of our social media in the description below. And again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Bye.